Hello, go on, stay here, stay here.
Cokie.
Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Lizzie Fitzpatrick and this is Coco. And this is Natalie. Do you think I should put like a pyjama top on?
No, I
it's
like
a bit too revealing.
No, I've got the shortest hot pants on.
But you can't see your hot pants,
no, I
can you? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Lizzie Fitzpatrick for those who haven't joined me before. And if you haven't joined me before, remember to subscribe and like this video if you like it because I'm doing a huge giveaway once I reach 1k. So today I have completely lost my voice. This whole weekend I've lost my voice, haven't I?
Yeah.
Like,
it's literally
I'm so glad you met me before this because like, imagine if you met me with this voice. But today we have got a very, very special guest for you today. We have got the amazing
Natalie Amber.
So, the reason why I've titled Why Fitness Has Saved My Life, it actually hasn't saved my life, but I'm sure it will do one day. It saved this one's life.
Yeah.
So today we're going to go into an in-depth story. Okay, the camera just moved because of the cat. Today we're going to go in an in-depth story on what actually happened to Natalie. So just give a little backstory how we know each other.
Yeah.
So we know each other basically. Why is the cat doing... He's obsessed with straws.
Yeah.
Literally. Wish I could show you this.
I told you they're crazy.
So we basically know each other because we met from an audition, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we've kept in touch ever since. Like, we've not seen each other since that audition.
I know.
It was like this time last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've literally not seen each other since that audition, but we've kept in touch literally ever since, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like, we were in touch when we both went to Greece out together. Like, it just shows that you don't need to see somebody all the time to keep in touch.
And to be the best of friends.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you literally don't. Like, we click so well, don't we?
I know. It's a bit scary.
Yeah, it is scary. Like, obviously it's scary.
We won't go into those details.
No. But anyway, so we will pass on to Natalie because we will tell you a story of what happened to her the last 7 years, really, isn't it?
I know.
Of
Well,
your life. But the real story, what happened like a month ago.
Yeah.
Is it a month ago?
December the 5th.
December, so it's 2 months ago. So December the 5th, the real story happened. But we'll tell you the little backstory before we get on. So that's it.
So I obviously was diagnosed with IBS and lactose and fructose intolerant, and fructose is like sugars, so glucose, fructose, sucrose, all of that.
You literally just couldn't eat anything, could you?
No, I couldn't. By the end of it, I was just eating jelly and Tesco's own ice loaves because they were the only ones that would stay down.
So before this, you were like, not, I don't want to say normal, but you could eat everything, couldn't you?
When I was little, yes, I could.
Yeah, so like,
I could eat everything.
So what age
Chinese.
was this that it happened? 17?
It started
18?
when I was 18.
18,
So I just got pains, and then all of a sudden everything was hurting to eat. I was getting skinny, everything would make me sick. You know, like even it got to the point where even Evian with like the touch of fruit water was making me sick. Would just throw it back up. It was ridiculous.
Like I was saying to you, it reminds me of the time when I was out in Greece and I couldn't eat any of the food because it was so oily. Yeah. And all you want to do is eat, but you just can't eat because it just makes you sick. And it's actually such a pain. And I know it's nothing what you had, but it is such a bad pain in your stomach. And like, imagine not being able to eat.
And I always say to people, imagine you had that bad belly pain. Imagine how I felt because it's 10 times worse every day. Like that bad, normal belly pain is bad enough. So
these cats, you can't even see them in the camera. Oh my god, these cats that Natalie has got, can we just say, they are literally spink cats on
Gabriel, come here.
But they are literally like dogs. I know some people. Shit your bum for the lads.
Put your bum out the camera. Come here.
Oh, they are so cute. Like, not many people will like these cats. My honest opinion, when I saw a picture of them, like, pictures of them, you think that they're so ugly, don't you?
Yeah, but
they are the most
baby.
beautiful cats I've ever known in my life.
And they're lovely personalities.
Yeah, the personalities just like dogs. Alright, so going off the story, going back onto the story. So, you kept going to... You kept going to the doctors, didn't you?
Yeah.
So tell them the story about, like,
and
you going to the doctors.
You know, I'm a dancer and a model, and with...
Well, they didn't, but yeah, she's a dancer and a model.
Yeah.
You model for like one of the top modelling agencies in England. Like, it's unbelievable.
And obviously, just because of that, they looked at it and said, oh, well, you're anorexic. Because obviously in the dance industry, in the model world, it's all about sometimes how you look. So they assumed that I was deliberately starving myself. I'd even go to A&E in pain with my mum and they'd be like, oh, do you like food? It's just like,
it's just
actually,
like sugar. It's
yeah,
like
I do
you're
like
not.
food.
The saddest thing is like you're not the only person this happens to. This happens to
No.
a lot of dancers and a lot of models, a lot of people that are in the image industry. Like anyone, they always assume that you're anorexic, you don't eat, but you eat everything. Like,
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, I could eat for England. It was literally that's the frustrating thing, because they don't know me. They just look at what I do and judge. They don't know me at all, and that's the bad thing about it.
So they said basically you got IBS and
IBS and sugar intolerant.
Sugar intolerant. So you actually went out to Greece, didn't you? And it was really, really hard.
Yeah,
for
I
you
was
to eat
in
there.
Cyprus and Spain, so I struggled. Luckily, I didn't collapse there, because I don't know, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been alive.
So what happened in December? Let's go on to the actual story of what happened in December. You were getting quite ill, weren't you?
Yeah.
Very skinny.
Yeah, I was so tiny. And I was having like plain rice, plain chicken with nothing on, not even salt and pepper. And I was living on literally jelly, like I said. And I just collapsed and went blind on December the 5th. I was in absolute agony, collapsed 3 times. My nan had to help me. My boyfriend at the time had to help me. It was terrible. I was like butt naked. The funniest bit is, it's not funny, but the paramedic came in and butt naked on the bathroom floor, and he was like, "Can you give us a bit of a decent, bit of decency?" So I've just got like a little onesie put across my boobs, not even my. That's not. I was just like,
you can laugh at it. We've got to laugh.
Well, yeah.
But like it was horrible because you couldn't see.
Yeah,
at all,
I could
could
hear
you?
everything. I just couldn't see, and that was horrendous. And my heart wouldn't slow down. They put me on oxygen. My heart wasn't slowing at all. It was absolutely out of it was irregular. They were getting worried. The next thing I know, I could see again once I was on the stretcher and put in an ambulance, and it literally the blue lights were on, the siren, and it was speeding me to the hospital, which was terrible. Then I got to the hospital. I was sicking up basically my poo. That's what was coming up. It was that bad. Obviously, I didn't know at the time, and they were giving me orange juice, and I just kept shouting, "It was the Tabasco sauce," because I thought it was just the Tabasco sauce, and they were like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "It's Tabasco sauce." I was just going crazy. I was literally psycho. And then all I remember is the anaesthetist who puts you out for an operation. I wasn't signing the form, so the nurse said in the end, she was like, "If you do not sign it, you are going to die." Which freaked me out even more. I'm like, no. So my auntie literally screamed in my face, "Sign the form." It was literally I was so weak, it was like one line like this. And they just said, "That's fine."
And this form was to go for the operation.
Yeah, and they just took the line because they said, "Otherwise you're going to die." So the next thing I remember is the anaesthetist looking at me, and he was like, "Oh, what a shame, I'm going to be the last face you see," in a funny way. And I was just looking at him like, because I was just so drugged up. And then I remember it being exactly 2 o'clock, just gone 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in the little room with like everyone around me. The A&E nurse came with me because I was so upset. I said, "Please don't leave me," and she was like, "I promise you I won't leave you." So she came with me, and she came and visited me in intensive care as well. She was
good with you, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was amazing. I was laughing like, "Ha," but I was like, "Oh, my belly," and crying again, and I'm like,
Is this when you came out?
It was before they put me. It was just the drugs. Then that's it. Don't remember anything. I remember waking up in intensive care. Apparently I'd woke up before that and had to squeeze hands. They do a thing where they test your brain and stuff. The next one I remember is my first memory was of my friend sat dead opposite me, and I was like, because I wanted water, and she had to sip it through a straw. At the time, I could only sip water every half an hour with just a sip, so it was literally straw down. Because I wasn't actually allowed anything then. I was on I had here I've got some like scars.
Look.
Can you see them a little bit? Marks?
Not at all.
There. They're all around here. Can you see them?
Yeah, but they don't look like scars at all.
Well, that's where I had 5 cannulas sewn into my neck.
There.
They sewn them into my neck because they couldn't get blood anywhere else. Yeah.
So we'll pop a picture on now of what Natalie looked like after the operation.
And obviously I had 5 cannulas sewn to my neck, and I was fed and like watered through a drip. The only thing, that I did make a joke, like when I was in my normal ward once they moved me, like the only thing I liked was that my lips were like permanently swollen. So I was like, "Oh, I love my lips." And the nurses looked at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I wish I could have them lips again." That was it.
Was this when you pulled into on the side or not?
Pardon?
Was this when your organs were on the side?
Yeah, they had my organs out to the side. I had dialysis because my kidneys had failed. I also had my blood washed. Apparently there was like a machine and the blood like goes in, around and back in.
It's so amazing what they do.
Well, I didn't know any of this till I came out of hospital. I wasn't really ready to know, and my cousin and my mum chose not to tell me whilst I was in hospital.
Yeah, because you were kind of out of it in hospital.
Yeah, well, I wasn't with it. I mean, one of the surgeons was my prom date at school.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and he came up when I first got out, so I was still a bit drugged up when he came onto my normal ward.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you remember me?" I was like, "No." And he just looked at me. Then I realised who he was. Like 2 days later, and then I got him to come back, like. And we've been so close again. He was my friend from the age of 4. We used to hang around in secondary school. He's my prom date.
And he's the person that saved your life.
And we got back in touch. My actual surgeons, I'd like to shout out Dr. Alexander.
Yeah, definitely.
I absolutely love him. He saved my life.
We'll link him below.
We will, because he gave me that cathedral cheese. You could insert a lovely picture of him.
It's a lovely picture now.
Yeah, and Dr. Hussein, who also saved my life. And they're both amazing. I honestly
So let's go on to the story. What happened? So it was 2 days, and they found out that you're. So when did they say that you? So basically, the organs were on the side.
Yeah.
To see if it worked.
Okay, so yeah, so basically, I had the first operation. From what I know, the first operation was to take out the poisonous bit. So my body had been poisoning itself. So they cut out 35 centimetres of my small intestine. So after that, they were going to wait 2 to 3 days to give me another operation, just to check it was all gone. They weren't really sure because they had already told my mum and dad I wasn't going to make it, and they didn't think I was going to be strong enough for the next one. But my kidneys started recovering and working literally instantly as soon as they cut that bowel out. So within the next day I had an operation. They didn't even wait. They were like, "Oh my god, she's recovering so fast." So they took me straight away. And they said the same again, that I wasn't going to come back, but he would try everything he could do. He also asked like what I did as for a profession. So because obviously he knows I'm a model and dancer, he's took so much care and gave me the thinnest scar.
Yeah.
It's so thin.
It's like down where your abs are as well.
Yeah.
So when, obviously she's going to get abs, and obviously you always have abs actually. So when your abs are on the side, it'll just be down, so it will define them even more.
I'm going to have an even better six-pack.
Exactly.
He did me a favour. I could even contour it. It looks sick, so it doesn't matter. It's so good.
So what happened after your second operation then?
So that was when I woke up.
And that's when they put all the organs back in, wasn't it? Everything was good. They removed the
small intestine, the part of it, 35 centimetres. Yeah.
But most importantly, they removed the Crohns.
All of it's gone,
disease. Yeah. So they removed all the disease. Everything's gone. You're just in recovery mode now. So you came back off the operation. What happened then?
So I'm in remission. So basically I have the Crohn's gene. But my Crohn's is dormant, is sleeping. So the Crohn's, I said it might come back next year, it might come back 20 years, it might never come back again.
We said like when you were explaining this to me, I just said it's like cancer. Like all of us have cancer. It's all dormant right now.
Yeah.
And you never know when it's going to come. You never know if you have it now, but like...
There's no point, living your life in fear because you can't... With Crohn's, there's no foods that prevent it or can help it. You don't know. All I know is seafood and fish are really, really good for Crohn's. Yeah. But there isn't a foods that you could avoid that would it just can come at any time. So I will have tablets for the rest of my life, and I'll have B12 injections, and I'll have once a year an anoscopy, which is a camera up my bum. But they'll put me. I'll be awake but out of it.
Yeah.
And I'll have that once a year just to double check, because with Crohn's you're also 5 times more at risk for bowel cancer. So they just check. I mean, the likelihood of that happening, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow. I can't live my life avoiding it. But the best thing is that because they've taken the Crohn's out of me at the moment, I can now eat and do what I want. Whereas if they'd have diagnosed it before, I would be in a lot of pain, still having to avoid certain food because it's still in your system. You're just trying to control it.
They only give you the surgery once something big happens to you, isn't it? Like
surgery's the last resort.
Yeah.
And they said to me, which is ridiculous, so unfortunately you're one of those small percentage that just slip through the net. Well, I've asked for Crohn's tests for 7 years, and my cousin has Crohn's. It's in my family. Well, and they told me, no, you don't have Crohn's. You've got IBS. You don't like food. But what? But I knew in myself it wasn't.
So the big message is that we're trying to say is, if you know that something's wrong with you, if you have something in your heart that's telling you, you're not right, don't agree with what the doctor says sometimes, because You know, the doctor might be wrong. We're only people. We're only human. Yeah. Not everything's right, is it? Either what I would do if I was in that situation, I would persist and persist and persist and persist. It's not working. Get a second opinion. If that's not working, get a third opinion. If it's not working, if you can afford it, go private. Just do something.
The worst thing is, I went private.
Yeah.
And he said to me, oh, do you know what? You've got IBS. So just come and see me at the hospital every 6 months and look what happened. He actually apologised to me last week for not sending me for a Crohn's test. And the only reason that is because he then came up in my Malden ward and was in shock because the surgeons had said to him, actually, you discharged this patient and now look what's happened to her. I'm lucky that I'm here. Obviously, you know, God must have wanted me here because he saved my life twice. But that's not the point. It took for me to nearly die for them to now be like, oh my goodness, let's give you extra care. Well, it's a bit late now.
Yeah. So we're not like discarding doctors because doctors do the most fantastic job.
Mr. Alexander is my left heart
in the whole entire world, don't they? But you know, if you feel like something's wrong with your body, you just got to.
And it's not all doctors. It's not. You just. I mean, you just get. And it wasn't. It wasn't my Dr. Shetty. It was my GPs. They just would not refer me back, and we begged. I cried. I was getting let go from work and jobs because they don't want someone that can't work with pain, and they didn't get the pain.
Yeah.
So now, it's horrible. And the only reason I survived this, the only reason I came off that table was because of my fitness. If I did not carry on with my fitness and work through the pain, I wouldn't be here today and I wouldn't be sat with you right now.
So this is why we're putting the video out as well, because obviously, you know, my channel is based on fitness as well. You know, like I'm a fitness instructor, I have my own business. This is how important fitness is to you. Fitness sometimes isn't, you know, to get the big bum, to get the abs.
But it is always good to have a bum.
Yeah. But, like, it's not always about that. It's about, one, loving yourself for who you are.
Yeah.
And two, getting your fitness up.
And working with
healthy.
The body you have.
That's what it's about. Getting healthy, working with the body that you have.
And
enjoy what you're doing. Honestly, I always say to everyone, if you don't like the gym, don't have to go to the gym. Go to a dance class, go horse riding,
I do boxing as well.
Yeah.
I'm petite and I love that I'm petite.
I love boxing.
Yeah.
We all love boxing.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to work with the body I've got. I'm never going to be a big size, you know, so I will work with what I've got and just improve on it. I don't want to change my physique.
That's what I say to everyone. Like, you should never ever want to change your body because you are who you are for that reason. God gave you small boobs for a reason. Do you understand what I mean? Like, God gave us small boobs for a reason. He did. But they're there for your body. And if you want to change that, then go ahead. Like, I'm not saying don't change it, but like,
whatever makes you happy. Yeah. Don't listen to, you know, people that are like, oh, you're too skinny or you're too big. No, if you feel like you're happy, you're happy.
Exactly.
Own it.
Yeah. But, like, this is an important message to people to say, you know, fit this cat. These cats, literally. I really wish you could see them in the video. Fitness is just so important for your mental state and for your health because it can save your life like it did with yours. But the biggest thing
is... That's what I preach for people to, you know, continue it. My cousin, she's got Crohn's. I've said to her, you need to be fitness. Like, you need to do something. You have to be fit. Because you, with Crohn's, you'll have surgery at least once in your life, like, because it is, you know, Crohn's and colitis is IBD. You've got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and IBD, irritable bowel disorder. It's just that one letter difference, but it is so, they're so similar. But it is actually now official. Doctors are not allowed to diagnose you with IBS unless you've had a Crohn's and colitis test and a celiac test. They're not allowed to tell you've got IBS. So if they do tell you that, that's wrong. That's not how it is anymore. It's changed because of this reason.
It's just. But when I remember, like, when I found out that you were in hospital, I didn't know what Crohn's was. I'll be honest, I didn't have a clue what Crohn's was. But I remember when I found out you were in hospital, I just burst out into tears. I was like, how can this happen to somebody so beautiful?
I think sometimes
I'm so upset, but it's made you realise, like, a lot of things, hasn't it?
It's made me realise, like, a lot about life, like, who's in my life, who I can't have in my life, about my future. Do I really want to go down this road? I think I want to do this road. It's made me realise a lot. Yeah. Like, because life is just going to be taken from you at any time. And you wake up feeling like, wow, different. I mean, I had to learn to hold my body again. I couldn't walk. I had a Zimmer frame. I looked like the man out of Family Guy, the little pervy man.
Have you got a clip? Have you got
I've got a picture.
I've got to insert a picture.
I've got a picture, yeah. I was like this on the Zimmer frame. Oh my god, it was terrible.
But like at the end of the day, you're here, you're surviving, you're here to tell the story. But most importantly, you put on weight.
Woohoo!
So you were 5 stone.
5 stone.
Yeah, you're 5 stone, now you're 6 stone.
Yeah, I was 5 stone.
And I know to a lot of people that might sound like bloody hell, like that is skinny. And
yeah,
it is. But we're gonna get you to 8, aren't we?
Yeah,
definitely.
We're getting there because we want to share clothes.
Yeah.
So we do need to get there. And and obviously, like I've said, I'm never going to be big. I was toned before. I've always been small, but I was toned. So
we've got the same figure, haven't we? We've got exactly the same figure. That's what I've just said.
So we're both petite.
Yeah. All you want to do is like get more weight on, and then.
And this is why weight training is important. You know, if you are tiny, you don't need to do cardio, because I don't do a lot of cardio. I do weights, sit-ups, press-ups, squats. You know, everything to build muscle. You build muscle. You know. I don't think you should ever do cardio when you're tiny, especially. I don't think so at all.
To lose weight, you just do it for your stamina.
I think you could do it I used to do it, like I used to walk on the treadmill and put it up a hill as a warm-up, and that was it, nothing else cardio.
But like even with your cardio, you don't have to do treadmill, you can do like the boxing as your stamina, you know,
boxing
still
is
building muscle, you know, you can do a lot of cardio exercises that are still going to build the muscle, do you understand what I mean? But yeah, like when you are tiny, oh my god, what is this cat doing? Oh my god,
Gabriel!
Hey!
Gabriel Kai! Get down! Oh my god.
Oh my god!
He's got my chicken from earlier.
Oh, it's sad. But yeah, so we just wanted to put this important message to anyone. If anyone feels like they've got pains and, you know, that they've not been told right.
If any of you, I mean, don't like Google Crohn's and say, well, I've got none of these symptoms.
Never Google anything, because I told her a story that I thought I had everything under the sun, and I waited in the hospital for about 5 hours to be laughed at.
Yeah,
because I had cold.
And also because Google with Crohn's, I actually didn't have any of the common Crohn's symptoms. So do not. I don't bleed from my bum. I didn't have.
That was very I don't bleed from my bum. Very open.
I don't have a lot. I didn't have any, mostly like diarrhea. I didn't have any of the common signs, but I did have itchy eyes. I had bad skin. I mean, like the marks here are like signs of Crohn's. They're just little dots.
Oh, okay.
That came up really bad when I first obviously was ill. And what else was there? I had hot flushes.
So what did you think
always
they
had to have
were,
a fan. Well, I thought it was eczema.
Okay, so we're going to say goodbye now, and thank you so much for watching this YouTube video.
And thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for having me. I loved it.
I can't wait to have you again. We're definitely going to have them more.
Of course.
But thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.